Hi friends, welcome to another video. This time we are going to talk about a great man's great autobiography. A man who needs no introduction, the people's president, the inspirer, the indescribable APJ Abdul Kalam sir. Wings of Fire. If we talk about him and this book very formally, then it would be like this. APJ Abdul Kalam sir was a renowned Indian scientist who went on to become the 11th president of India 2002 to 2007. The book has been very popular in India and has been translated into multiple languages. He is a very well known across India and is a recipient of India's three highest civilian awards: Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, and Bharat Ratna. Wings of Fire is an autobiography of Abdul Kalam sir, and it is written jointly by Arun Tiwari and Kalam sir. It covers Kalam sir's life before he became the president of India, and also in 2013 another autobiography titled My Journey Transforming Dreams into Actions was also released. So coming to Wings of Fire, it is so much more than just his autobiography. It's a journey and a life lesson. It covers his early life and his work in Indian space research and some missile programs. Simply put, it's the story of a boy from a humble background who went on to become a key player in Indian space research and Indian missile programs, and later became the president of India. I loved the initial chapters of Wings of Fire since it gives a vivid picture of our country during 1930, 1950s. Kalam sir was born in Rameshwaram, a southern religious town in Tamil Nadu. The initial chapters provide an interesting glimpse of religious harmony which existed before India's partition. There are some situations he describes that would make us feel proud of our nation and ourselves. But at the same time, there are many situations he faced during his childhood that remind us of what it's like to struggle, to not have much and yet make the most of it. We could find an interesting thing that Kalam sir, in his younger years, he wanted to be an officer in Air Force, but he couldn't clear the interview. I found it very, it's quite interesting to know that. And from this book, we learn how Kalam sir started his career in aeronautical and how he was involved in the design of a hovercraft, and after that he moved to Indian space research, which we can definitely say was the brainchild of Vikram Sarabhai. And in 1963, Kalam sir went to NASA in USA as part of some training program. Also, the book covers a lot of behind the scene information and technical details about India's satellite and missile program. Like SLV-3, Prithvi, Agni, etc. I don't remember the names. So at this point, to be frank, I was reading the sentences again and again because the terms were getting complicated. Apparently, there were some scenarios which I didn't understand, and quite a few technical terms were used. I think these kind of terms might interest the readers who are technically inclined, but for people like me may find these parts like I don't say it boring, but might find unclear. It covers Kalam sir's personal life also, but briefly, which is strange for an autobiography. But an ordinary person like me, will be interested to know more about personal things, right? Also, people, we would probably be interested to know, his principles and ideas, right? But I must say, space, missile programs, aircraft, these are like huge complex projects, and managing them is extremely challenging. It also gives a glimpse of some of the management technique he adopted, but that is also not going into details of any things. He just gives a glimpse only. For example, in his personal life, we don't know why he decided to remain single, or other factors like his activities outside space research, these kind of things. The other thing is Kalam sir is a poet and is a huge fan of poems. The book contains many of his own poems and his favorite poems as well. You will find it in the book. And also through Wings of Fire, we come across some brilliant people who worked behind Indian space research, such as Vikram Sarabhai, Dr. Abraham Prakash, and also he has mentioned the names of his childhood friends and many others too. And another thing, the book contains around 24 pics and 2 cartoons which appeared in the media. I don't know if you remember when we discussed the book 127 Hours, it also had some photographs. So anyway, in this book, his father's pic is there, and I think page number 17 or something. So anyway, and also some pics from the early days of Indian space program. It's very interesting. For me, I believe these photos alone are worth the price of the book. And he held many high-ranking positions in various organizations. But he rarely mentions about anything about lethargy or corruption of bureaucracy or politicians. Actually, I'm not interested to know more, about those kind of things, especially because we read Kalam sir like person's biography to know and learn their principles and ideas, right? So that's okay. So I think the secret of his success seems to be, his ability to ignore negativity around him. You can feel that from this book, and I'm also trying to be so. And I must say, one of the things that stands out throughout the book is Kalam sir's positive thinking. He still is a man with an impeccable record and a true inspiring person who still lives in our hearts, right? So what can I say in the end? Kalam sir is a simple, secular, inspiring humanitarian, and in my opinion, one of the best leaders we have had. Please get some time to read and comment your thoughts if you have already read it.